What's good, everybody? It's your boy Eddie here, and welcome back to the channel, and I hope you all are having a wonderful day. And for today's video, we have a super hype and super limited shoe. So before we even continue, guys, make sure that you hit that subscribe button down below as well as that notification bell. And what we got here is none other than the Nike and Tiffany Co Air Force One. And I have to say, guys, personally, I am not too crazy about this sneaker, especially for the $400 retail price point, as well as the fact that the accessories that they made for this collection is not available for that $400. You have to actually spend hundreds of dollars for those things. And especially, I think that that emblem, or the Dubré as they call it on the website, should have came with this shoe. So the Dubré, or the Air Force One pendant that's supposed to be on here, actually costs $250. Then the shoehorn itself, which I think looks really nice but is not worth the price point, is $425. And then finally for the shoe brush, I believe that's about $475. So imagine buying all that stuff just to match this collection. You're spending almost $2,000 after taxes for this sneaker, and I think that's absolutely ridiculous. And in my opinion, if I was to spend $2,000 on a sneaker collection, that would absolutely have to be put towards the Nike and Air Force One Virgil Abloh sneakers. 100%, there's not even no question. The material and leather on that sneaker is bar none compared to this. But before we even get into that, guys, I'm gonna have to go over the box details, which honestly for me is my favorite entire thing about this whole collection. So when we actually look at this box right here, we do have it in that Tiffany blue, and we do have that nice white Nike check right there. But what you guys are probably not going to see is the details on this box lid. So when you actually take a closer look at it, you have a lot of Nike checks and Tiffany T's all over it in that monogram font, and I have to say that looks super fire, especially when you have it in person. Obviously, guys, we cannot wear our shoe boxes, but this definitely would be a nice collectible piece. And then finally, we have our sticker tag right there, and this is where things start to contrast. So when we look at that sticker tag, it does say Nike Air Force One 1837, and the reason why it says 1837 on the sticker tag isn't the fact that Nike has been around since 1837. This is actually due to the fact that Tiffany Co has been around since 1837. But what I also didn't know is the fact that Tiffany Co actually creates most of the trophies that we look at. So some tennis trophies, a lot of the NBA trophies, as well as the football trophies. But let me know in the comment section down below if you guys already knew that, because that's definitely new information for me. Then when we look at the colorway on the sticker tag, it does say black and multicolor, and that's pretty interesting to note because the shoe is only black and Tiffany blue. There's nothing else to it. Well, we do have some sterling silver, but again, that's not something to really say like multicolor for. You could just put black, Tiffany blue, and silver. And then for this shoe, I went with my true to size, which is a size 8. And personally for me, all the Air Force Ones that I've ever tried on or owned has always fit when I went with a true to size. If I go a half size down, it's too tight. But I know a lot of people who they actually size down or go full size down with Air Force Ones. So make sure before you purchase this sneaker, if you still want it after watching this review, to actually try on your Air Force One sizing. And one more thing that I want to mention before I open this box about the inspiration behind the shoe is the fact that this is actually the first Tiffany branded and Nike collaboration, because remember, we do have the Tiffany SB Dunk Lows and the SB Dunk High, but that was created by Diamond & Supply Co. And if you know about that collaboration and that brand, that was a heavy hitter in the streets. Diamond & Supply Co was a big thing during my high school days. So if you were in the streets wearing those Diamond & Supply Co tees, make sure that you write that in the comment section down below. And now when we start opening this box, guys, you actually think the inside is going to be Tiffany blue, but it's not. We actually do have it in this kind of like highlight or bright orange right here, and I think that it looks really nice and makes the inside of the box pop. But again, you can't wear your shoe box, so it's not really doing anything overall, but it is a nice collectible piece. And we do have it in that script Tiffany font right there. Then when we go inside the box, we do have this nice wax tissue paper right here, and it is actually printed. So we do have a lot of details of Tiffany Co, the actual Nike Air Force One. And then we just have like a lot of jewelry. And I think that this speaks to the collaborative effort that was made. However, guys, I don't think that this was reflected that much in the shoes. Like, it's not a bad shoe, guys, but it's just disappointing to me. I think they definitely could have done way more. And you know, it is what it is on that. So now with the conclusion of the box detail, guys, let's just focus on the details of the sneaker itself. So when you actually get the shoe, it does come individually wrapped in these white wax tissue papers right here. But the focus of the review is going to be on this pair right here, guys. So we do have an upper that's primarily made out of black nubuck. And again, a lot of people were saying that they hate black Air Forces, yet this sneaker sold out pretty much instantly. I know it's due to the hype of Tiffany, but a lot of people are hypocrites when it comes to that, because they're like, black Air Force energy, that joint trash, all that type of stuff. But every release date, the sneaker sells out. So who's telling the truth and who's lying here? Personally, for me, guys, I'm gonna say that when I saw the product pictures of the sneaker, I thought it was actually dope. But after getting it in hand, remembering the retail price, remembering the fact that the standard silver that's supposed to be on this Air Force One emblem is not here and it's just a leather dubray, actually makes the sneaker somewhat disappointing. So when we focus onto the toe box area right here, guys, as you can see, we do have it in this kind of black nubuck, and it is in a pretty decent material now that I'm feeling it. So when I rub it back and forth, you do get that backstroke motion, which basically means that it changes colors depending on the direction that you push it in, which is a nice detail. When we look at the material of the eyelet area, it's actually in this tumble leather, which is nice. Then when we look at the dubray, super disappointing for me, and I think that this is where they failed miserably in the name of profit, because every Air Force One that we know of comes with that kind of metal or silver dubray. This is a Tiffany Co collaboration. I don't think that you should separate that from the actual release of the shoe. When you look at the production dates and details, it does say made in China, but as a quality control check or something, Nike, you could have received the shoes when it came back to the States and just put one on every single shoe. Yeah, that would have took more time, but maybe if you did that and maybe raised the price of the shoe by maybe $200 and made it $600, which I still agree is pretty crazy, but I think that's a better option than selling it separately for $250 plus tax and possible shipping. Like, that's insane to me, especially with the market that we're in right now. Who knows what the deal is. That's above my pay grade, right? So anyways, guys, when we actually move up now, we do have these thick rope laces right here, and it does have these clean metal aglets right here. Then when we move on to the tongue tab, this is pretty nice. So when we actually focus on the tongue itself, it is made out of satin. That is a nice material. But on top of that, we do have this beautiful, classic and simple Tiffany logo and script. And I think, again, that's another nice detail. Then when we go into the lateral side of the shoe, same black Air Force One energy, just with some nubuck on it. But we do have this tumble leather Tiffany blue Nike check right there. And again, that's a really nice detail. Then when we go into the back heel area right here, guys, this is where I think Nike and Tiffany was like, yo, this is where we could crack their heads at. Let's just put a small 925 sterling silver right there with our stamps on it, and they're gonna be good. They're gonna be willing to pay that $400, which clearly worked because the sticker sold out crazy. And one thing to note about that 925 silver, guys, is the fact that it's pretty much made out of 92.5% sterling silver, which is pretty much very pure silver. But there is a 7.5% component of like different alloys such as copper, which is what they mix to make the silver more malleable and just more durable and to last for a very long time. So that's just another important detail to note, guys. Then when we go onto the medial side, the same thing pretty much follows suit as the lateral side. And that is the benefit of this Tiffany shoe, in my opinion. I do like the fact that it is very simple. It does have some decent materials. Not the level of quality of the Nike, Virgil, and Louis collaboration, but it is pretty decent. One more thing that I want to note on this side of the shoe is the fact that we do have a leather lining, which again is great for comfort. And then once we take the insole out of the shoe, we do have a nice detail of this Tiffany blue insole. It is actually very firm, which I like. I don't know if this is like a leather insole, but it does feel very similar to it. And it's pretty firm, which means it's going to be a very comfortable ride in these sneakers. Then when we look at this Nike Air logo, we do have it in that sterling silver detail, which I think looks great on the shoe. Then when we go onto the right side of the shoe, guys, the same thing is pretty much gonna follow suit. However, we do have some extra laces, so that's what I want to show you guys real quickly. We do have it in the Tiffany blue, and then we actually get 2 yellow laces, and it doesn't seem to be 2 different shades, which is interesting to note, but I would have rather them give us more of the blue Tiffany laces than the yellows, because I would never wear this yellow colorway. I'm just gonna stick with the black rope laces. I think that's the best looking one out of all of them. I do love a more low-key profile, depending on the silhouette and the color blocking of the shoe. Now, one more final detail to note, guys, is the midsole and the outsole of the shoe. So when we look at the midsole, we have that black Air Force One energy again. Then we do have that Air logo right there. And once we move on to the outsole, we do have that standard Air Force One traction pattern right there. And then we do have 2 Tiffany blue details right there, which I think is pretty nice. And then, yeah, guys, that's pretty much gonna conclude all the details of the shoe. So now let's get right into this on full look, all right? Y'all, so this is going to conclude the review as well as the on full look, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I did making it for y'all. Guys, as I mentioned before in this video, this sneaker is not worth $400. If it was more on the $200 price point or the $150 price point, definitely cop this shoe. But if I was to spend any type of resale on the shoe, definitely cop the Louis Vuitton and Nike, Virgil, Air Force Ones, because these joints, absolutely not worth it. They're cool, but again, with that price point, it's just way too much for me. So let me know what you guys think about this sneaker in the comment section down below. But don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Share with your friends and family. Just keep doing what y'all doing to help push the YouTube algorithms and help my channel grow. And other than that, y'all, I'll catch you on the next video. Peace.